guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I am back to do another updated houseplant tour to let you guys know where my plants are sitting at for the, I guess, winter 2020 so far. It's been a couple of months since I last kind of showed you guys my plant situation. I think the last houseplant tour was in October, and that would have been a fall one. So since then, I have unfortunately lost a couple plants and added a couple plants, and some are in the process of being lost. So you'll see all about the update in this video. I'm going to show you some brand new plants I actually just acquired this past week on a recent trip to a nursery. So let's jump right into it and get started with the houseplants. So before I move you guys on the official tour of the space, I'm going to share with you some news about the plants so far. So I recently acquired one of my bucket list plants, which is the Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma, and it is such a beautiful plant, also known as the baby monstera. It is so cute. It has like tiny monstera leaves, and it grows literally like a weed. I swear, I think it grows out a new leaf every single week, so it is the most satisfying thing ever, just because in the wintertime a lot of plants do end up going dormant. So I find that a lot of my plants don't give me a lot of growth, and when I don't see growth I get really discouraged, whereas when my plants do give me growth, I kind of sort of feel like I'm accomplished. I did the right thing, I have a green thumb, and my plants are loving me. So the Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma is a great plant for anybody who wants to get into plants and isn't too sure if, I guess, maintaining a plant is something that's within their capability, because their plants always die, because these plants are very satisfying since they always grow. I'm gonna let my dog out right now because Kobe keeps pawing at the patio door for me to let him out, and if I don't, he's gonna start screaming. So be right back. Okay, I am back. I let him out really quickly. He's gonna do his thing, which means in a few minutes I'm probably gonna have to let him back in again. But let's see if I can wrap up this intro before he needs to get let back in, so I can do that and then take you on a full tour of the house. So I'm looking really quickly at all my plants right now. The Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma are the newest additions. I got 3 of them because there were 3 available on sale when I got them at Valley View. They actually had a lot more, like 20 of them available for purchase that day, but a lot of them were not in the best shape, so I picked 3 for myself. I grabbed 1 for my mom, and she's already taken hers home, so I've only got 3 right now. I'm trying to think of any other plants that I've actually added to my collection thus far. Besides those ones, I got a little variegated Peperomia the other day because it was like $2 at Valley View and it looked kind of interesting, so I figured I'd kind of bring it home and see how it goes. But besides that, I think most of my plants are the ones that I've had thus far. I have unfortunately kind of almost lost my Calathea Ornata. A lot of the leaves decided to shrivel up and die, so there's only a couple leaves left, and you guys will see it in the video that it is not a happy plant right now. I'm trying to revive it by giving it all the love and care that it needs, but it just is refusing to survive, so we'll see what happens to it. I may have to get rid of it at some point to get a new Calathea, but you know, Calatheas are not the nicest plants to take care of. They're super needy, love to be humid and misted, and my place is unfortunately not like that. It is kind of dry in the wintertime, so that's probably why it's not happy with me right now. My rubber fig, one of the very first plants that I got, is also not happy with me. It's dropped a bunch of leaves recently, and you guys will see that one of the stems is very bare. So makes me a little bit sad because it was one of my very first plants and I was excited to see it thrive, but unfortunately this winter it is not loving it. My variegated pink rubber plant though is very happy, and it recently just sprouted 2 brand new leaves, so I'm happy about that. My bird of paradise is currently in the process of also growing 2 brand new leaves, which is always exciting as well. Those leaves literally take forever to unfurl, but it is so gratifying when you see them unfurl and your whole tree is just like boom, bigger, but a whole brand new leaf, because it makes such an impact since it's such a big plant. But let's just cut to the chase, and before I continue jabbering, let's move right into the plant tour. And we're gonna start off with the living room where I am right now, and I'll show you the status of these current plants. So as always, let's start off with the vignette over top of my bookshelf right here. As you guys can see, my rubber plant is not happy. That little twig on the right over there is just looking bare. He's not too happy with me right now. And the one on the left is doing okay, but a lot of the leaves seem to be kind of drooping and dropping, and I don't know what to do about him. I've looked it up online, and I read that rubber figs are not the happiest in the wintertime, so maybe it's just this winter that doesn't feel like he wants to survive anymore. We are gonna move in a little bit closer to this golden pothos that I've been kind of like propagating from a trade that I did off of Buns. He's just still going. I'm waiting for the spring/summertime for me to repot him so that his leaves will have more nourishment besides just water, but at the meantime, he's just chilling there in the water. And then right next to him, over on this jar over here, you guys will have seen this one in the previous video, is my Monstera Adansonii. Also not doing the best because it's just sitting in water, and I'm sure that it definitely needs a lot more nourishment right now. But since it's winter, if I were to put it into some soil, I think it would really shock the system and actually kill the plant. So he's gonna stay in the water system for a couple more months until spring comes. Okay, so here's plant death number one. I think I'm gonna show you guys. This little cactus that I've had for a couple of years now, he's no longer thriving. So I think I'm gonna have to throw him into the garbage and keep the cement as a future plant pot, but he's gone. This cactus though, for some reason is thriving, and I've literally done nothing to it for the past couple of months, so I think he's just enjoying the humidity and the dry heat in our place right now, since we do have the heat on for the winter time. But we'll see what comes in the summer if he's gonna continue surviving once it gets a little bit more humid. On the balcony right now is a dead tomato plant I actually do need to get rid of, so he's just chilling there. We're gonna move over to this vignette over here, which is right by the window, and I'm actually gonna darken this a little bit just to make this a little bit more bearable on your eyes so you guys can see what the plants look like. Right now, my Calamondin, I think that's what it's called. The orange tree, I still haven't quite figured out what exactly is it. He's just, I don't know, being him. For a while, a bunch of the leaves started falling off, and it was really just twigs, so I clipped off a bunch of different things, and then out of nowhere, all these leaves just sprouted up. So I don't know if he's alive or not. I've actually contemplated many times throwing him out just so I can get rid of him, because he's been annoying and has had so many spider mites kind of attack him by now. So I think it's almost ready for him to go soon, but he keeps putting out new leaves, so I can't really quite justify or like morally throw him out when he's still pretty okay in my eyes. So if we move down to these guys on the ledge over here, I'm gonna start off with my Hoya Compacta. For the longest time, this guy was actually infested with spider mites, and then I gave him like a really thorough clean off, and he started sprouting some new leaves. So very happy with him right now. He's doing really well. We're gonna see if he sprouts some new leaves in the summertime, because I would love for him to get much longer. In the meantime, he's still in a very much baby dormant phase from when I bought him from Kim. So this pink plant, I still don't know what he's called. I'm gonna try my best to find the name and put it in the description box down below. I will also list all the plants in the description box down below so you guys can know what plants are what and in the order that they show up. But he's doing pretty okay, kind of leaning sideways funny in the pot, so I've turned him away from the light a little bit in hopes that he will lean back towards the light and straighten himself out, but he's just chilling there. And then I have my first pink princess on this ledge. I have two of them. This guy is just chilling, I guess. I think he's supposed to be pushing out a new leaf soon. If you look right here on the stem, it's getting kind of thick and bulgy, so hopefully within the coming weeks I will get a brand new leaf coming out of that one. This guy is a purchase from IKEA. This guy is the Peperomia Obtusifolia Variegata from IKEA, and he's actually doing really well. The funny thing with this one though actually is that some of the brand new leaves that have been coming out recently are no longer variegated, and that's kind of annoying to me. It's just been coming out with like a full green, whereas the existing older leaves were variegated. So I don't know, maybe it's too much sun. It's pushing him back towards lack of variegation, but he's growing nice and big. This top leaf here is a lot bigger than all the other ones, so I'm happy because I think he's happy. We are going to move on to this little vignette on this side. This is where I keep all my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma, which is 1, 2, 3 right here. I got a Marble Queen Pothos sitting in the back, and then this is my Constellation Monstera that Mel got me for my birthday, so we'll just focus on him first. At the moment, there only are 4 leaves just because we did have to cut one off since it had a bunch of, I don't know, looked like root rot that was going into it. The rest of the leaves are pretty okay, so I'm happy with the status of this plant, but I am excited for a potential new leaf to come out, because if you look at this stem right here, if I can get the camera to focus on it, it's starting to look a little thick and bulgy, which means a new leaf may be coming out sometime soon. Keeping an eye out for that one. I will be very excited when a new leaf does pop out, because then you'll look so much more lush. So these little guys sitting at the base of my Thai constellation are my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma, and as you guys can see, if I get up nice and close, these leaves kind of mimic like a Monstera's leaves, which is why it's also known as baby Monstera, but they grow like weeds. See this brand new leaf that's popping out here right now? It literally came out this far within the past 2 days, and I bet you within like a week's time, another leaf's gonna come out in another direction. So they've been giving me a lot of satisfaction since they grow quite well, especially in the wintertime when all of my other plants are kind of in hibernation mode. So I feel kind of like I'm still an accomplished mom, even though my plants aren't really growing that big right now. I forgot to mention, I think this guy actually is a new addition since I last showed you guys my plant collection. This is a Marble Queen Pothos, and I actually thought that the golden Pothos that I had originally was a Marble Queen until it started to show more yellow than white. So I picked this one up from Valley View. I think it was only a couple of dollars, so it was quite small. So I'm excited to see where it's gonna go, and I want to nourish it to have nice, big, luscious vines come the summertime, but at the moment he's just parked underneath my little chair here, basking in the sun. Next up, we're moving over to the snake plant. He's just chilling here like always, nothing
too different about him. I just water him once a month or so and just maintain him, and he's been pretty straight, so happy with him. Like I said, if you guys are ever looking for a very easy to take care of plant, definitely look into snake plants because they require honestly like minimal work. Before I move into the bedroom, I want to show you guys, this is a brand new addition that I just got earlier this week. I think this is the variegated Peperomia. If you look really carefully at the leaves, the detailing is insane on this plant, which is primarily why I was drawn to it. It has like really beautiful white speckles, and the leaves alternate from like white almost to dark green, so I was kind of drawn to that. As you guys know, I love variegation in plants, which is why I collect variegated plants whenever I can. But this guy's like a really mini one. He's only $2, so we'll see where he goes. Hopefully he gets nice and big in a few years time. I've actually found more satisfaction in nourishing baby plants into big ones instead of just buying big ones outright so far. So moving on to the bedroom now, we're gonna start on one side of the bed, and this is my Crinkle Fern. I think like crinkled bird's nest is what some other people also call it too. He's not doing too well. If I'm gonna move closer to show you guys, some of the ends are getting quite crispy, so I'm gonna have to chop them off. But I think this plant really enjoys a lot of humidity, and I definitely am not able to give it enough. We'll see if he survives through the winter, but so far none of the leaves have been seriously dying off just quite yet, so I'm happy about that. If we now move into the other side of the bed, which is next to the window, I can show you the rest of my plants. And as you guys may notice, there are some new additions in here, and by new additions I definitely do just mean the humidifier right there. We installed a second Dyson in amongst the plants just because I found that at nighttime my nose was getting really dry and I didn't want to get any nosebleeds, so I got that for myself, but also so that the plants would have some more humidity as well, since they kind of are situated directly underneath a vent up top there, and I didn't want them drying out, so there's a brand new humidifier to accompany them. But I'll go through each of the plants and let you know the status of them so far. This is my spider plant. It literally grows like weeds. I love it. It is so gratifying to grow just because it just continues growing and growing. But at some point, once it starts to sprout babies, it gets actually really annoying and they take over your space. So I'm actually considering getting rid of my spiders because I have one outside that has a ton of babies. I forgot to show you that one, but they literally look the exact same. So I won't bring this camera back out to show you guys. Just keep in mind, if you guys do get a spider plant, they will grow like crazy, and just make sure you have space for it. I definitely wish I had a place to hang it, and I don't because I'm living in a condo that I'm renting right now. So he just sits in this pot right here right now, but he takes up a lot of space. Moving on to the back, this is my variegated pink rubber fig, and I am obsessed with this plant. Unfortunately, one of the stems died off. I used to have 4 of them, so now there's only 3. You guys can count that there's 3 of them. 2 of the stems recently just put out some brand new leaves. I'm gonna get nice and close so I can show you guys what they look exactly like. This is one of the brand new leaves that was just put out. It is nice and beautiful and pink, and I'm so excited because it's so soft. If you guys have ever touched a brand new leaf, then you'll know how soft they are. So that's one, and then on the other side over here is another brand new leaf as well, also nice and soft, so I'm excited for these. So that is my variegated pink rubber fig. I'm very excited for this one to get nice and bushy and big, just so pretty, and I love the colors of it. Down here is my Triostar Stromanthe. As you guys may know, this looked a lot whiter earlier last year when I first purchased it, and you would see a lot more pink, but unfortunately all of those white leaves have now dropped off just because I find that they don't really produce a lot of chlorophyll for the plant, and then that plant itself just like ends up dying and drying up. So at the moment it's only a bunch of green leaves left, but I still do see some pink peeking through every once in a while underneath the leaves, so it is quite pretty. I do really still love this plant. I just wish it would get more white leaves like this one. Some more variegation please. And then this is the Ornata that I told you guys about. I'm gonna brighten this up a little bit so you can see a little bit better, but he is not loving life right now. This is essentially the only leaf left that's happy with me, and that's like soaking up all the moisture in the soil in order to produce more leaves. I think I'm gonna end up chopping these off this week so that it's not wasting energy trying to promote like health and growth to these leaves, because they're definitely not gonna recover. This is the only guy that's viable left, and it makes me really sad because if you guys remember, he once used to be so luscious and thick. I even placed him right in front of the humidifier so he would get a lot more moisture, but he's just shriveled up into nothingness, and I'm very sad about that. Moving on to my bedside table, I don't usually have this many plants lined up next to my bed, but I took them out just for ease of access to show you guys. This is the string of hearts. Last year I had a variegated pink string of hearts. It died. It was infested with spider mites, so bye-bye to that one, but I went back and got a regular string of hearts just to see if I'd be able to manage taking care of it on its own before investing in a variegated one again, because the variegated pink ones are like $18 a piece, and this is like literally $8 a piece, so about like less than half the price. So I'm gonna maintain my expectations first, make sure I can take care of this one before I go back to the pink variegated one. But this one's grown so much since the last time I showed you guys. I think like this whole bottom chunk here is brand new. And sad story, actually, I think I accidentally ripped off one of them by accident because I was touching it last time I was watering it and it fell off completely. So I ended up sticking it back into the soil, which is why you see some of these random strands hanging off here, because these are the broken ones that have been stuck back into the soil in an attempt to regrow them in soil, I guess. It's kind of been working so far because they continue to grow new leaves, so happy about that. This is an example of another Calathea that I can like literally just not take care of. I think Calatheas just hate me, or I don't have the right humidity for it. As you can see, the top layer is really dry right now. Promise you the bottom is still quite wet, which is why it's not getting watered just quite yet. This is the Calathea White Fusion, I think, or White Knight. There used to be a massive plant with a bunch of different shoots coming out here, and they all died off, but then surprisingly one just popped up and it's now spitting out like 5 leaves. So I kind of am getting a restart from this plant. It's giving me like a second chance in life, and I'm hoping I can nourish it to health and to make it much more bushy and thick come summertime, because I would love him to be nice and thick again. Moving on to my tiny fiddle leaf fig tree. As you guys can see, there's a brand new leaf popping out right now. Very excited because it looks so fresh and so soft. At the moment, this tree only has about 5 leaves, including the brand new one. If you guys remember last time, I had about like 6 or 7, and then like a couple of them fell off. So we're kind of restarting here with some new leaves. The tree itself is definitely not dead, which is a good sign because it keeps putting out leaves. So I'm just hoping that come summertime, it'll get bushier. I keep saying the same thing. I hope that all my plants get bushier come summertime. Second last plant I'm going to show you guys is my just regular Monstera. Since I last showed you, I think I may have received 2 brand new leaves from it. They have huge fenestrations on them. I'll actually show you the underside because it's already flipped up facing the sun, so it's easier. So there's that one. And then there's this one in the back right here. These leaves are massive. They're literally bigger than my face. And I'm very excited for the next leaves to come in to see what kind of fenestrations they're going to get. I'm really hoping that I can get windows ones, which means fenestrations like the really tiny ones inside here. It's like 2 layers of fenestrations, and that means your plant has fully, I guess, matured. I don't know. I've been told that the more mature your plant is, the more fenestrations you get. I'm very excited to turn this place into a jungle. I only have 1 stem in my Monstera, and I know a lot of other people typically have like 3 to 4 stems in their pots, but it's a bit messy and I only wanted to have 1 plant, which is why I just have 1 baby here. And he is thriving. I think there's going to be a new leaf coming out here soon. The top's getting like really thick and bulgy right there where you see that little point stick out of the stem, which means a new leaf is coming to fruition. So hopefully in a few weeks time it will pop out and I will have a new one with lots of fenestrations. The very last and final plant I'm going to show you guys is my Bird of Paradise, which is the biggest one out of all of my plants. It has not been faring the best because all the bottom leaves have been kind of drying out with the humidity, well, lack of humidity, more like the dryness in the air since we've turned on the heat for the winter. There are 2 new babies coming out and I can't wait to show you guys. So if you look very, very closely right in the center here, there is a baby little sprout popping out. And then on the back side, let me see if I can take you to the other side. There's also another baby sprout coming out. So currently 2 leaves on this guy. I cannot wait till he gets nice and bushy and big and has so many leaves it'll feel like a canopy in a jungle. But besides that, that's essentially all the plants in my bedroom at the moment. So let's go back outside and wrap this video up. So thanks so much for watching my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed an updated houseplant tour for winter 2020. So you can kind of see through the journey of my plant motherhood how far I've gotten since I first started collecting plants, kind of like early spring last year or even before that. But last year was when I avidly got obsessed with plants and I've grown quite the collection now. I'm just hoping that all of these last again until next year. And I honestly cannot wait till summertime when they all start to flourish and grow like crazy. It is like my happiest time of the year because all my plants just thrive and I just like to see it when they put out new leaves. So waiting, counting down the months till summer comes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are also plant obsessed like me, please do let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know what plants you have. If you have any plants that are on your wish list that you'd love to acquire, because I definitely have a couple more that I cannot find just quite yet. Like I would love to get an Albo Monstera. Mine's a Thea Constellation and I really like kind of like the white speckling of that one a little bit more than mine. So kind of also want to acquire that one. Also in the hunt for new plant pots. So there's that as well. Some of my plants, as you saw, currently do not have decorative pots and they're just sitting in their nursery ones. So I really would like to get some cute ones. But otherwise, that's essentially it for my updated houseplant tour for winter 2020. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in the next video and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye!